Welcome back to the Four Corners Sports Block. This is Rick O'Block. I have with me Matt Young, one of the owners of the Durango Martial Arts Academy. We talked about some background on you. Now I want to talk about some of the contact stuff and the fighting that you guys do, and we'll segue into some other things. But let's talk about that. So you have some people that are sort of a group or an academy of fighters, and they train just to do fighting. And then you have a group that's just training.
Right.
So let's talk about the fighters and what that's all about.
So our fight team consists of our professional and our amateur fighters, and also our younger guys who are kind of up and coming, who haven't had their first fight yet, but that's what they really want to do. Our fight team, they train together. We organize sparring sessions specifically for those guys, workout sessions specifically for those guys, and then the coaches also provide a lot of one-on-one work for those guys who are on our fight team. But really, the guy to make it onto our fight team, all somebody really has to do is have a really big passion to want to fight. You know, I mean, everyone who fights in MMA or who pursues martial arts, they do it because it's their dream to do it, you know, since they're little or whenever. But they have this dream to try to fight. So, you know, all the guys on our team, you know, they want to someday make it to a big promotion like the UFC, or, you know, some of them even, all they want is to have a couple fights just so that they can prove to themselves that they can do it, you know, or to just have that moment of glory. Because when you have a fight, you're a star, especially when you win your fight. You know, for one night, you're a total star, you know.
What's the average age of people in the fight team, and when can they really start fighting? Do they start fighting at a young age, or do they have to be a certain, because it's fairly hazardous, I would imagine?
Well, when we're talking about MMA, in Colorado, I'm not sure about some other states, you have to be 18 to fight amateur. And the average age of most of our fighters is in their mid-20s. But we have had guys who have fought for us that, you know, they didn't have their first amateur fight till they were 38, 39, you know, and they fought for a few years into their 40s.
How many people are on the fight team?
Currently, we have a couple amateurs, a couple pros, and about 5 or 6 amateurs. And then, you know, about 5 or 6 guys who are looking to have their first fight within the next year or so.
And this is how this whole thing came about. There's actually local events where people go to fight.
Right.
So fill me in on that, because how often does that happen, and where do they go?
So every few months they'll have a show, and typically they'll have them out at the casinos, like out towards Cortez, Mountain View Casino, and then at Sky View Casino. They're a lot of fun, you know, and you know, it's just a entire production. You know, they have the walkout music, and
it's about,
you know, it's a prize fight, exactly. So,
and how big are the crowds? I mean, is it usually like sold out?
Usually it's sold out. I think the capacity out at Mountain View Casino, where we have most of our fighters fight, is about, I'm guessing, but like 600 to 800 people.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of times they sell out.
Wow. So we have about half a segment left. I want to talk about, how do people get into this? So what would they need to do? What type of person does it take to get into this? And how can they go about getting started? Because somebody like me, for example, is a complete novice. What would I need to do to get started?
Well, starting out is definitely the hardest, most intimidating part. You know, just coming into the gym for the first time. But we try to make it really easy at Durango Martial Arts to do that. So we have beginner classes. We do fundamental jiu-jitsu classes. And we have pad and bag kickboxing classes. So those classes pretty much anyone could take, and they'd feel fine. And we want to build people up, you know. We want to prepare their bodies the right way so that they don't get injured.
And is that once a week, or is it?
We have
twice
classes
a week?
twice a week. We do a fundamentals class twice a week, Monday and Wednesday night. And then we have co-ed kickboxing classes pretty much every day at noon. And then, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. And those classes have the least amount of sparring in them, so they're the best for the beginners, so that they can just learn what it is they should be doing, so that their bodies can adjust to that kind of training, and people just start training more and more. They get in better shape, and eventually, those who want to compete decide they want to compete because they've been just training. They want to do something with all these skills and tools that they've developed, and they want to test them out. So guys will compete in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, amateur kickboxing, and then whenever they've had some good experience competing, then we'll put them into a mixed martial arts fight. And that's for our most experienced competitors.
So they come in and they're listening to this show and they go, that sounds really cool, I want to do this. How can they go about contacting you or finding more about the Durango Martial Arts Academy?
Well, they can check us out online at DurangoMartialArts.com. They can find a way to contact me through email there. They could also call me on the phone. My number is 259-3398. Or they could look at our Facebook, Facebook.com/DurangoMartialArts.com. They can find a lot of information there. If they want to come by the gym and look at our facility, they can watch a class. They can even stop in and they can try their first class out for free, see how they like it. And they can drop into pretty much any of our classes. Our instructors try to be really open and welcoming to beginners. We don't want to make it feel like an exclusive thing. We want to make martial arts a thing for everybody because everybody can get a benefit from it. That's the best way is usually through email, phone call, or just stop on by the gym.
And what was the number one more time?
Our number is 259-3398.